What are you making?
Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, some fruit. Look now, I'm missing half of it.
So what is that for? I'm so close to Shakira. Connor said to Harvey, when it comes to Shakira, I have one word to you, Mike.
Wait. My name's Marc Campbell. I fight out of Masda Gym in Liverpool. I'm the current WBC International and the UK #1, and this is my story.
And tell me about the neighbourhood that you grew up in.
I grew up in Litherland. It's like a nice area. It's alright. It's not like too bad. You could probably say that. Yeah. I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna make out like I've fucking been through all hardship and struggles with. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? I think everyone knows what my dad went away for. I'm not gonna act like I struggled financially or anything like that. Yeah. I had a comfortable upbringing. Yeah.
Tell me about growing up at school. Can you recall any memories, or you sort of walking, getting the bus to school?
Yeah, so high school, my mum used to drop me off or I'd get the bus. Yeah, just how it was every day, and then I'd walk back from school.
And what was that school called?
Chesterfield High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the school, yeah.
This is the school?
This is the school, yeah. Is it out to walk on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't leave it in a bus stop.
Schools are closed in anyway, aren't they?
Ah, yeah.
This is where me, Pono and Kenny all come to school here. I haven't been here in years. This is actually quite weird.
Were you mates before? Did you know them before?
Nah, I didn't know them before high school, nah. I met them. So, I first got close with Pono when we went to Barca on a school trip in year 8, I think. And that was sort of like, started being mates then. And I think Kenny was sort of like later on, like year 10ish. So I was probably like 15, something like that. And then they all just started coming to the gym. And yeah.
Did you bring them to the gym, or was it just...
Yeah, I don't want to like claim that, but it was because of me sort of thing, you know what I mean? I was the only one like actively going.
Yeah.
Owen was away at the time. He hadn't been in the gym in a couple of years. So I just said, as soon as we got back in touch with Owen, it was sort of like, look, let's all just go to the gym. As soon as lockdown come in, I don't know whether that'll get us in trouble, whether we were there in lockdown or not, but fuck that. Yeah, we all went through lockdown the whole way through, just trained. And then when we come back to school, it was like Alfie stopped coming. Alfie literally stopped coming to school in year 11. He was just in the gym all day. And then now, here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I had 2 bags of popcorn yesterday. It's a sappy.
It is sappy, like you gotta enjoy yourself, you know what I mean?
Fucking
What's all that about?
bacon, sourdough and eggs. Oh, it's a show. What's a show?
We were playing for we were representing the school playing footy, obviously, like I said. And I feel like when you're away with like all the lads, it sort of just becomes, you sort of just get to know everyone, and then after that it just went further. Kenny was in some of my classes, so I knew Kenny. Kenny was like a mate, but more like distant, you know. I wouldn't say, I didn't speak to him like every day. And then I think about year 10 we come a lot closer. Yeah. When I done my SATs in year 6, I achieved like a certain amount, so on my maths paper I actually got 100% on my SATs. So the school made me do like a test thing, and I was actually eligible to go into like a private school, like all paid for and everything like that. So my mum was adamant that's what I was going to do, and yeah, I didn't want to do that.
You didn't want to do it?
Nah.
Why not?
I feel like that's just not like me as a person, you know what I mean? I feel like private schools, I don't want to sound like the stereotype, but I feel like they're all, not like snobby, but they can like sort of look down on people, and I know that I weren't of like that like level, you know what I mean? I was just like a normal lad. It wasn't like I was only clever and I could like I was playing footy, I was still like one of the lads, you know what I mean? I didn't want to like give that away just for private education.
I'm talking about being one of the lads. Tell me about Buckley Hill.
Buckley Hill, playing footy. Yeah, we used to play footy every week on Buckley Hill. Ponting used to get absolutely pocketed on Buckley Hill every week. Yeah, that was like where we played footy when the whole way through high school, really. And he used to play on the left, and I used to play right back.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely pocketed him for the whole game. And he hates it. Anytime I bring it up, he hates it.
Your call has been forwarded.
Don't ring me back. This, where I'm going to take you now for footy, you see more fights on here than you see in any gym in the world. Oh, it's absolutely brutal on Buckley Hill. Absolutely chaos. I never really used to get involved in. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey,
Hello.
just taking Charlie to Buckley Hill now, just showing where you got pocketed.
Stop, lad. Don't start with that, lad. You know I'm a left back, not a left winger.
I told you to make that.
You're a bad man, you know.
Come on, I'll see you in a bit.
Fucking hell, see you in a bit, lad.
He hates it, I told you, he absolutely hates it. I know what it's like on here. If you were to come here on a Saturday or a Sunday, 1,000,000% you'd see at least a straightener or two. Yeah, just on here. That's where it all takes place.
It's the Battlegrounds.
That's the Battlegrounds, yeah. That's where we used to sit. And like on that grass bit, we used to put everyone in gloves and let them fuck each other, let them have straighteners. And that was like, that's all we used to do. Every summer holidays, every day. Just go there. And we climb on. We basically used to bring 2 pairs of gloves. 2 like 6-ounce pairs of gloves as well. Absolutely tiny, like junior gloves. And we'd pick 2 people. We'd like measure size and weight and just say, oh yeah, you two are similar, you can fight. And no rounds or anything like that. We sort of just fight till whoever loses, and then after it we just go and play footy again, or watch 2 of the others have a fight.
Who was the best?
I never got involved. I'd say me, but I never got involved. I never used to fight. I'd say probably Jay Charner.
When you were sort of 10, 11 years old, quite a significant thing happened in your life. Tell me about that.
So yeah, when I was 11, yeah, my dad was arrested and put into jail. And obviously, like, when I was at that age, I didn't totally understand what was going on. I knew what was happening. Obviously, I didn't understand like the reasonings, or obviously now I do. But yeah, that was, I don't know, quite a strong thing that remains in my memory. You know what I mean? It's not something that I can easily forget when you've got police running in your house with fucking big guns and pointing at you and stuff like that. It's not something that just erases from your memory, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's made me like the person who I am, because from that point I was the only like man in the house, the only boy in the house, you know what I mean? So now, since then, I had to mature very quickly, and my dad always said that to me, that'd have to be what happened. I'd have to mature and I'd have to look after my mum and my sister, so I feel like that's what's happened.
Did you go to therapy afterwards?
I didn't, and I think because I was a lad, probably, and I think that I was just sort of like forgot about it. But I remember for about a year I really struggled with it, like I couldn't really sleep and stuff like that. But like I say, it happens, doesn't it? It's life, you know what I mean? If it wouldn't have happened to me, it would have happened to someone else. So yeah, it was hard. It was hard, of course it was. You know what I mean? Me and my dad were like very close. He's what got me into the sport. He's used to go away with him all the time and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't easy, you know what I mean? But like I say, me and my sister needed to be looked after, and I feel like I matured very early on when I had to look after them, and it's still the same now. Just because my dad's out now doesn't mean I'm still like protective over me mum and my sister, you know what I mean? I'm still feel like I've got that responsibility.
How did life change from when you went away?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. I obviously had to grow up a lot quicker and a lot. Sorry, I had to grow up like a lot quicker and do things very differently. You know what I mean? And obviously we didn't have my dad there to help with stuff like that. So obviously my mum struggled. You know what I mean? And obviously now this is why I'm doing this, so that my mum never has to struggle with it. When I was 11 till I was about 14, every Saturday.
Where are we going?
This is Bolton Jail, HMP Liverpool. Yeah, every Saturday we'd go and visit him at Bolton Jail. That was from when I was like 11 till I was about 14, so not the typical child Saturday afternoon that you'd expect. Yeah, it's not easy, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that it is. It's obviously, it's not nice. It's not a nice place. There's bad people in places like that, you know what I mean? I've seen some mad things happen in the visiting rooms and that. And then from when I was 14, he started to get moved about jails a little bit, started to have to go a little bit further out, like Manchester and Birmingham and stuff like that. And then I think he got his first home visit when I was 16, I think, turning 17 I think I was. So he'd get out like one day at a time, then like gradually it'd come to like 2 days, 3 days, then he'd have like 4 and 5 days home, a month, and then last year he got out full time. So
Tell me that feeling when you were reunited properly.
yeah.
What was going through your mind at that time?
It felt real, to be honest. Because obviously, like, me dad had, like, I'd seen my dad out of jail, but I was a kid. You know what I mean? I didn't like, I don't like remember. I don't have like proper like core obviously I have memories, but not like not like that. You know what I mean? So when he actually like got out properly, like he'd been on home visits and that, I'd seen him like at home, but it was like he had to go back. You know what I mean? So when he was like actually out, I remember it was a leap year, so I think it was the 29th of February. I think it was. I think that's what it worked out as. And he was going to surprise us, but I think my sister was in school. I think I was in college or I was doing something. So he rang and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm home, by the way." I was like, "What are you chatting shit for? Why are you lying?" You know what I mean? What are you on about? And he was like, No, I am." And I was like, "Oh, fuck off." And he was like, No, I'm being serious. And then for like a couple of months, it always felt like, oh yeah, he's gonna go back. You know, it didn't feel like, not like a worry, it was just like, it didn't feel like real that he was out, you know what I mean? So like now, it's like settled in now, like I know my dad's, but it's like, at the time it was like, nah, stop lying, you're going back soon.
What was the first thing you'd done together that you can recall?
We come to the gym. That's something, on his very first home visit we done the same. We always come to the gym. He always, like when I was a kid, even like before I'd even started, he always wanted me to like go to the gym with him and do things like this. And I feel like that's like what we sort of like a bond together with, you know what I mean? He's always, like you see him at my fights, he's a bit mad, isn't he? He's so when he's coming, he always comes to the gym, he always watches me train, and I'll do sessions with him and stuff like that, so that's normally what we'll do, yeah.
Do you think your dad's a bad person?
I don't, personally. I can see why people would think he would be. Obviously, they're just going to see him for what he's done and what, you know what I mean? The way, like, the papers and that'll portray him is going to be he's this big bad criminal, he's ruined so many lives and all that. Obviously, he's my dad, I'm not going to view him like that, am I? You know what I mean? I'm going to see him as the positive that I've had from when I was a kid and obviously from now. And yeah, I could understand why people would think that, yeah.
The first fight that he came back and watched you was for the WBC British, right? Tell me about that fight, tell me about that whole night and how that made you feel.
Yeah, that was probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life, to be honest. It was more, not, the fight wasn't the problem, I was more worried, like, what he'd be like and how he'd react to things and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, I remember just being petrified, and I was more scared of losing in front of him, because he'd been away for so long, you know what I mean? He'd never watch me outside of a body shield. So, obviously he'd seen videos and stuff like that, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? When I remember just being scared, and I think he was scared as well. He was coming in, he tries to like act like he keeps his cool and he's like dead calm, but I know he's nervous. I remember he kept coming in the back, and he'd ask like questions like, oh, are they the gloves you're wearing, or oh, what's yours? And I'd be like, just chill, it's alright, you know what I mean? But yeah, I could tell he was nervous and I was nervous as well. And then after it was just like, I don't know, it was probably one of the best moments of my life, yeah.
It's the first time I've been out here to watch him properly, so in a long time. I got a 14-year sentence. So I've been in jail now since March 2017. I only got out the 29th of February this year. A lot of our conversations and seeing each other have been over the table or over a phone call. I was on home visits where I got to come home and see him. It's still not the same.
How do you think he feels about what you've achieved?
Well, I hope he's very proud. This is what I've chose to do in my life, and I know he supports me a lot. He organises all my sponsors and he sorts all tickets out. Like for the Bolton fight, he's already sorted all tickets out and stuff like that, you know what I mean? He always goes like above and beyond, he does everything he can. And in my mum, we've had a little back and forth over the years, because she's always wanted me to go down a different path. Yeah, she didn't want me to fight, whereas my dad's always been dead certain, like, if this is what he wanted to do, then we've just got to support it, and that's what he does.